There was a time when you stood ignorant of the might within your tongue. Think back to the dark days when careless words sparked a fire of destruction, leaving a trail of ruin in their wake. Perhaps it was a moment of anger or frustration, a careless remark that cut deeper than you intended, igniting a conflict that spiraled out of control. It's easy to underestimate the power of a single word, but you've seen how it can spread like wildfire, consuming everything in its path. Proverbs 18 verse 21 has always been there, a silent warning. Life and death are in the power of the tongue. But this is not just a scripture, it's your revelation. You've witnessed firsthand the devastation your words can cause. You recall the hurt etched on someone's face, the relationship strained, and the opportunities lost because of words spoken in haste. These moments were painful reminders that your tongue wields a power that can either build up or tear down. But it was in this crucible of suffering that you learned a crucial truth. Your words are a weapon. They can wound, but they can also heal. They can destroy, but they can also create. The real turning point came when you realized that just as words can destroy, they can also build, defend, and ultimately silence even the most formidable foe. This understanding didn't come easily. It required you to confront your past, to see the wreckage left by your words, and to take responsibility for the power you hold. It was a sobering moment, one that demanded a shift in how you perceive your role in the world. No longer could you afford to be careless with your speech. You had to become intentional, to wield your words with wisdom and purpose. This was the beginning of your transformation, the moment when you embraced the truth that words are more than mere sounds. They are the keys to life and death. As you embraced this revelation, you began to see the world differently. Conversations took on new weight, and you found yourself pausing before speaking, considering the impact your words might have. You started to notice the power of words in others as well, how a kind word could lift someone's spirits, or how a harsh criticism could crush them. This awareness deepened your understanding of the responsibility that comes with the power of speech. You were no longer just speaking, you were shaping reality with every word. But your greatest battle isn't against an external adversary. No, your true enemy lurks within. You wrestle with self-doubt, fear, and insecurity, words of defeat whispered in moments of weakness. These insidious thoughts have a way of creeping into your mind when you're most vulnerable, when you're standing on the brink of something great. They tell you that you're not good enough, that you'll never succeed, that you're destined to fail. These are the words that cut the deepest because they come from within. They are the voice of self-sabotage, the most dangerous enemy you will ever face. These words have held you back, kept you from reaching your full potential. They've whispered in your ear when you were about to take a leap of faith, convincing you to step back instead. They've sown seeds of doubt in your mind, making you question your worth, your abilities, and your purpose. The battle within is relentless, and it's easy to feel overwhelmed by the constant barrage of negative self-talk. But there is a way to silence these voices, to overcome the enemy within. In the midst of this turmoil, a voice from the past, a mentor, a guide, breaks through the darkness. This voice reminds you of the truth, urging you to replace your doubts with strength and faith. Replace your doubts with strength and faith, the voice urges, and Philippians 4 verse 13 becomes your new battle cry. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. With this mantra, you begin to turn the tide of your internal war, replacing the venom of self-sabotage with the healing balm of faith-filled speech. This transformation isn't instantaneous. It requires daily effort, a constant vigilance over your thoughts and words. You learn to catch those negative thoughts as they arise, to challenge them with truth, and to replace them with affirmations of faith and strength. This process is not easy, but it is necessary if you are to overcome the enemy within. Each time you choose to speak words of life instead of words of defeat, you weaken the hold that self-sabotage has over you. You begin to see yourself not as a victim of your circumstances, but as a victor, capable of overcoming any obstacle through the power of your words. As you continue this journey, you start to notice changes within yourself. You become more confident, more resilient, more focused on your goals. The doubts that once held you back lose their power, and you find yourself stepping into your purpose with greater boldness. You begin to see the truth in the words of Philippians 4, verse 13. You really can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. This truth becomes the foundation upon which you build your life, a constant reminder that you are stronger than you ever imagined, and that the power to overcome lies within you. The confrontation resumes, and your enemy taunts, jeering, desperate to provoke a response that would lead to your downfall. This is a familiar tactic, one designed to throw you off balance, to make you react in anger or fear. Your enemy knows that if they can get you to speak in haste, they can use your words against you. But this time, you are armed, not with a sword, but with the wisdom of Matthew 12, verses 36 through 37. Every word is a seed, you recall, and it will bear fruit whether for good or ill. The enemy expects a flood of words, a clash of verbal swords. Instead, they are met with your silence, calm, controlled, devastating. You've learned from the Master himself, who, in the face of his accusers, spoke not a word. Jesus, standing before Pilate, the most powerful man in the region, chose silence over self-defense. He understood that sometimes, silence is the most powerful response you can give. Silence is your weapon now, an unexpected force that leaves your enemy bewildered, disarmed, and off balance. This strategy requires immense self-control, the ability to resist the urge to defend yourself, to justify your actions, or to retaliate. But you've come to understand that not every battle is won with words. Sometimes, the greatest victories are won through silence. Silence in this context is not a sign of weakness or submission. It is a sign of strength, of confidence in your own authority. When you choose silence, you demonstrate that you are not easily provoked, that you are not controlled by the taunts of your enemy. This confounds your adversaries who expect a verbal battle, a clash of egos. Instead, they are met with a calm, unshakable presence that cannot be easily disturbed. Your silence speaks volumes. It declares that you are in control, that you are not swayed by the opinions or provocations of others. As you stand in silence, you remember the words of Isaiah 53, verse 7. He was oppressed and afflicted, yet he did not open his mouth. He was led like a lamb to the slaughter, and as a sheep before its shearers is silent, so he did not open his mouth. This scripture becomes your guide, your inspiration. It reminds you that silence is not just a strategy. It is a sign of your trust in a higher power, your faith that justice will prevail without your need to defend yourself. When you finally do speak, your words are measured, intentional, and powerful. You don't speak out of anger or fear, but from a place of calm assurance. You've learned to choose your words carefully, understanding that they carry the weight of your authority. Your enemy, caught off guard by your silence, now finds themselves on the defensive. They realize too late that their provocations have failed, that they have underestimated your strength. In that moment, you have already won the battle, not through the force of your words, but through the power of your silence. And then, when the moment is ripe, you speak, not with anger, not with fear, but with a declaration of victory and unshakable faith. Mark 11, verse 23, is your sword. Truly I tell you, if anyone says to this mountain, "Go, throw yourself into the sea," and does not doubt in their heart, it will be done for them. These words, filled with divine authority, strike your enemy like a thunderbolt. They falter, their power crumbling under the weight of your unwavering faith. In that moment, the battle is won, not by might, but by the power of your words infused with faith and truth. This victory is not just a momentary triumph. It is the culmination of your journey, the fruit of your labor. You've spent time cultivating your speech, learning to speak words of life and faith, and now, in this critical moment, you see the power of your words in action. Your declaration is not just a statement of fact. It is a proclamation of your faith, a command that the world must obey. This is the power of positive confession, the ability to speak your reality into existence through the authority given to you by your faith. As you stand victorious, You reflect on the journey that brought you here. You remember the doubts that once plagued you, the battles you fought within yourself, and the lessons you learned about the power of words. Every step of the way, you've been preparing for this moment, building your faith, honing your speech, and now you see the results. Your enemy, once so confident in their ability to defeat you, now stands powerless before the strength of your words. They realize too late that they were never truly in control, that power has always been yours, lying dormant within you, waiting for the moment when you would claim it. This victory is a turning point in your life. It marks the moment when you fully embrace your role as the chosen one, when you step into your authority and begin to wield your words with the power they were always meant to have. From this point forward, you are no longer a passive participant in your life. You are an active creator, shaping your reality with every word you speak. You understand now that your words are not just sounds. They are the tools with which you build your life, the weapons with which you fight your battles, and the seeds from which your future will grow. As you walk away from this battle, victorious and confident, you know that this is just the beginning. There will be more battles to fight, more challenges to overcome, but you are ready. You've learned the power of your words, and you know how to use them. With every step you take, you carry with you the knowledge that your words have the power to create, to destroy, to heal, and to conquer. This is your greatest weapon, and you will wield it with wisdom and strength for the rest of your days. As the dust settles, you stand in the quiet aftermath, reflecting on the battle that has just passed. James 3 verses 5 through 6 now rings clear in your mind. The tongue is a small part of the body, but it makes great boasts. Consider what a great forest is set on fire by a small spark. The tongue also is a fire. You understand now more than ever the need to guard your tongue. Words have the power to ignite conflict as well as peace, and the discipline of speech is a lesson learned in the harsh crucible of battle. You resolve to speak only words of life and faith from this day forward, recognizing that your words carry eternal significance. In this moment of reflection, you realize how easy it is to underestimate the power of words. We speak thousands of words every day, often without thinking about their impact. But this battle has shown you that every word you speak has the potential to create or destroy, to heal or harm. You understand now that words are not just a means of communication, they are a force that shapes the world around you. And with this understanding comes a responsibility to use your words wisely. You commit to guarding your tongue, to speaking only what is true, what is necessary, and what is kind. This is not an easy task. It requires constant vigilance, a mindfulness of your speech that must be maintained at all times. But you know that this discipline is essential if you are to continue on your path as the chosen one. You've seen the power of careless words, the destruction they can cause, and you are determined not to let your tongue become a weapon of harm. To help you in this endeavor, you adopt practices that reinforce your commitment to mindful speech. You begin each day with meditation, focusing your mind on the words you will speak and the impact they will have. You spend time in quiet reflection, considering the words you've spoken and how they've shaped your day. You seek out wisdom from Scripture and from mentors, learning from those who have mastered the art of speech and who can guide you on your journey. As you cultivate this discipline, you begin to notice changes in your life. Your relationships improve as your words build trust and understanding rather than causing conflict. Your mind becomes clearer, free from the clutter of unnecessary or harmful speech. You find that you are more at peace, more in control of your thoughts and emotions, because you are no longer a slave to the impulse to speak without thinking. This is the power of guarding your tongue, the power to create a life of peace, purpose, and fulfillment. In the days that follow, you share your story with others, a testimony of transformation brought about by the power of positive confession. You recount how, in the darkest of times, it was not the strength of arms that brought you victory, but the strength of your words. You urge others to embrace this weapon, to recognize the simple yet profound power of words in their own battles. Your journey becomes a beacon, a guiding light for those still struggling in the midst of their own confrontations, reminding them that the tongue has the power to both silence their enemies and reshape their destiny. As you share your testimony, you begin to see the ripple effect of your words. Those who hear your story are inspired, encouraged to take control of their own speech and to wield their words with the same wisdom and power that you have learned. They see in you a living example of the transformative power of words, and they begin to apply these lessons in their own lives. This is the true power of testimony, not just the sharing of a story, but the creation of change in the lives of others. Your testimony is not just about your victory. It's about the journey that brought you there, the lessons you learned along the way, and the person you became through the process. It's about the battles you fought within yourself, the doubts you overcame, and the strength you found in your faith. It's about the power of silence, the importance of guarding your tongue, and the victory that comes through positive confession. And as you share this testimony, you remind others that they too have the power to change their lives through the words they speak. You also realize that your testimony is ongoing. The journey doesn't end with a single victory. It continues every day with every word you speak. You are constantly learning, growing, and refining your speech, becoming more intentional and more powerful with each passing day. And as you continue to share your story, you help others to do the same, creating a community of chosen ones who understand the power of words and who are committed to using that power for good. This transformation, both in yourself and in others, is the greatest victory of all. It is the fulfillment of your purpose as the chosen one, the realization that your words have the power to change the world. And as you continue on this path, you do so with the knowledge that you are not alone, that there are others who walk this journey with you, who are also learning to wield their words with wisdom and strength. Together, you are creating a new reality, one built on the foundation of faith, truth, and the power of the spoken word. In the end, you stand not just as a victor, but as a living testament to the power of words. This power, you realize, is not merely for defense, but for creation, for shaping a life of victory and purpose. You hold this power within you. Embrace your role as the chosen one. Guard your tongue, speak words of life, and use this divine gift to silence your enemies and inspire others to do the same. The battlefield may be fierce, but with the power of words, you are more than equipped to conquer.